In my opinion, Severance is the best show on TV at the moment. Many people that I've spoke to about the show have said that they didn't enjoy it, but as David Brent famously said, sometimes the complaints will be false. What makes this show so special? In the words of Trick Williams, let's talk about it. Severance begins with one of the most original high concept ideas in modern TV. What if you could surgically separate your work memories from your personal life? On paper it sounds like the perfect solution to work-life balance. In reality, the series brilliantly reveals the horrifying consequences by creating two versions of the same person, an innie who only knows work and an outie who only knows life outside the office. It transforms a familiar everyday frustration into a deeply unsettling psychological mystery. It's a concept that's instantly understandable, yet rich enough to explore from countless angles. What makes the premise so compelling is how it blends science fiction with universal human experiences. Beneath the mystery and corporate conspiracy lies a story about identity, free will, trauma, and the search for purpose. The innies are effectively born into a life of endless labour with no escape, raising profound ethical questions about consciousness and what it truly means to be a person. At the same time, the outies unknowingly surrender a part of themselves in pursuit of a better life, forcing viewers to consider how much of our identity is shaped by our memories and experiences. Perhaps the greatest strength of Severance's premise is that it only becomes more fascinating the deeper the story goes. Every revelation expands the possibilities rather than diminishing them, allowing the show to seamlessly balance mystery, philosophy, dark comedy, and emotional drama. It's the kind of idea that makes viewers question their own relationship with work and personal identity long after the credits roll, which is exactly what great science fiction is meant to do. The characters in this show are so good. It's the first show in a long time where every single character feels compelling, no matter how much screen time they get, whether it's a tense conversation in Lumen or a quieter moment outside of work. Every scene feels like it's revealing something important rather than simply filling time. The writing gives each character their own distinct personality, while the performances elevate them even further. What really makes the series special though is the main four. Dale has a Mark, Helly, Irving and Dylan. They all have completely different motivations, personalities and emotional journeys, yet they bounce off each other perfectly. Their relationships evolve so naturally that you become invested in all of them individually, and together they create some of the show's funniest, most emotional and most suspenseful moments. It's rare to find an ensemble where every cast member is equally engaging, but Severance absolutely pulls it off. The supporting cast deserves just as much praise, and for me, Mr. Milkshake himself is the standout. Tremel Tillman gives one of the best performances on TV over the last few years, making Milkshake endlessly fascinating. He can be warm, charming, and almost reassuring one moment, before becoming deeply unsettling the next, often with nothing more than a smile or a subtle change in expression. You never quite know where you stand with him, which makes every scene he's in impossible to look away from. Alongside brilliant characters like Cabell, Bert and Devon, he helps create a world where there isn't a single weak link. Every character feels fully realised, every performance is memorable, and there isn't a moment that feels like filler. Another one of Severance's greatest strengths is its cinematography. Every shot feels deliberate, with the camera often lingering just long enough to create a sense of unease. The endless white corridors, perfectly symmetrical framing, and vast empty office spaces make Lumen feel both sterile and strangely oppressive, even when very little is happening. The way the scenes are composed keeps you completely engaged, turning ordinary hallways and meeting rooms into places that feel mysterious and intimidating. The show also uses colour and lighting brilliantly to reinforce its themes. The severed floor is dominated by cold whites, muted greens and soft blues, creating an artificial environment that feels detached from the real world. In contrast, many of the outside scenes are darker, colder, and more natural, highlighting the divide between the innies and the outies. Director Ben Stiller and cinematographer Jessica Lee Gang constantly use wide shots, negative space, and slow camera movement to make the characters seem trapped inside a system far bigger than themselves. What makes the cinematography truly exceptional is that it isn't just visually beautiful, it actively tells a story. Every frame reflects the character's isolation, confusion, and lack of control, often communicating more than dialogue ever could. It's the kind of visual storytelling that rewards repeat viewings, with subtle framing choices and recurring imagery revealing new layers each time. In an era where many shows simply aim to look cinematic, Severance uses its cinematography as an essential part of its storytelling, making it one of the most visually distinctive series on television. In a time where a lot of series feel like they're constantly rushing to the next twist or big moment, Severance is incredibly confident in letting scenes breathe. It understands that anticipation is just as important as payoff. The show will spend an entire episode slowly building tension around something that seems small, like Mark and the team becoming suspicious of Lumen or the discovery of what goes on in other parts of the building. But because the show takes its time, every little breakthrough feels like a genuine event rather than just another plot point. The pacing also makes the big moments hit so much harder because the show earns them. The first season finale is the perfect example of this. After spending the entire season carefully building up the mystery around the characters' outside lives, the overtime contingency sequence feels absolutely explosive because we've spent so much time waiting for those answers. The same goes for moments like Helly discovering the truth about Rowdy or Irving uncovering the connection between Lumen and his own life. Severance never feels like it's dragging its feet. Every quiet conversation, every strange Lumen ritual, and every uncomfortable interaction is adding another layer until the tension finally breaks. What I love most is that the show is never in a hurry to explain itself. It allows the audience to sit with confusion and curiosity, which makes the experience feel much more rewarding. Shows like this can easily become frustrating if they're just throwing out mysteries with no substance, but Severance balances the slow burn with genuine emotional investment. You're not just watching because you want answers, you're watching because you care about these characters and you want to see where this strange, unsettling journey takes them. A lot of sci-fi tries to impress you with massive concepts, futuristic technology, or huge set pieces. Severance does the opposite. It takes something painfully normal, going to work every day, and turns it into an existential nightmare. The horror isn't a monster chasing you, it's the idea that a version of yourself could be trapped somewhere, living an entire life you have no control over. The show taps into modern anxieties about corporate culture, burnout, identity, and feeling like you waste your life at work. This series is a masterpiece in my opinion, and I'm very much looking forward to watching the third season next year. Thank you guys for watching this video, and in the words of the legendary Ron Burgundy, you stay classy, YouTube.